Here we go again. Another series of Edging All Alone Till I'm Strong. Strap in, folks. We're about to dive into the madness of red ants, giant white ants, and a really loaded S-rank hunter who just happens to be in the way of two unfortunate thieves. So we start with our heroes, the Jeju Island Raiding Squad. Gathering to eliminate red ants really begins to showcase how dangerous this anime will be. Classic. And surprise, surprise, things take a wrong turn. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Alright, everyone who has ever watched anime. And then we get introduced to the big shots, Min Byung-yu and Big Yong-ho. But what are these names? Who's swooping for the rescue because, you know, they needed that dramatic entrance. Now, cue the dramatic moment where a giant white ant appears to confront Young-ho. But hey, no worries, Young-ho takes it out effortlessly. It's almost like they're trying to convince us that these ants are the real threats. Nice try. Cut to Choi and Jong-hin in a city nearby because every good story needs a random character observing the chaos from a distance. This sequence just told me how dangerous the show will be and how the people in it are overpowered monstrosities. Look at that healing magic from earlier. That shit is magical. Meanwhile, in a construction site, we meet our hero, Sung Jin-woo, the infamously known weakest hunter. That's not on the nose. The classic underdog. I wonder if he'll miraculously become the strongest by the end of the series. Place your bets now. Fast forward to the dungeon raid, Jin-woo struggles against the goblin, stabs it, and whoop-de-doo, it shatters. Talk about anticlimactic. But oh, don't worry, he gets stabbed back because, you know, we can't have the weakest hunter looking too good. Now we are at the Hunters Guild building and Yoo Jin-ho is standing in front of a machine, riveting stuff. I hope that machine is a coffee maker because I need something to keep me awake. And then we have Cha Hee-hee, the S-ranker, casually stopping motorcycle thieves because apparently being an S-ranker lets you do a physics-defying front flip while also grabbing a bag. Good to know. That's not generic. Back to Jin-woo and his team. They walk for 40 minutes. Enter a giant door and find a room with blue flames. Whoa, groundbreaking. That door will close shut. I'm calling it now. What did I just say? And just when you think I can't get any more cliches,
it's wrong.
those statues come to life because, you know, why not? It's the only thing that can attack. Anyway, one guy's tried to leave and, as you could say, surprise, motherfucker. He gets brutally slaughtered. Should have taken the day off, buddy. Now the biggest statue with the staring problem decides to join the party. Its eyeballs turn toward Jin-woo and cue the dramatic scream. I'm on the edge of my seat here. Man, no. And a stretching light beam. Who could have foreseen this tragedy? You can't see me right now, but I have my hand raised. Alright, episode 2 starts with all the right buttons. We've got traumatizing deaths, severed limbs, and an altar of sacrifices. Because what's a good dungeon adventure without a little bloodshed? Actually, I kinda like this. So Jin-woo's comrade had paralyzed in fear, witnessing the traumatizing deaths of two members. No kidding, Sherlock. Jin-woo warns them not to move to avoid another attack from the murderous statue, and here comes the dialogue of despair. Well, I don't know what do you think? Then Jin-woo tries to comfort Jogi, who's too traumatized to move. She would the unlucky guy lost an arm, but fear not. Remember the healing magic from earlier? That could be used to heal him, along with all the trauma. Chi-yu estimates the statue to be S-rank, which is something you could tell before entering the room. Seriously, that plays Korean final boss. Cut to Jin-woo's sister, Sung Ji-ha, attending school. The thrilling subplot we all needed. Her friends wants confirmation that Jin-woo is a hunter. Spoiler alert, Jin-ha spills the bin and he's only E-rank. Back in the gym, Chi-yu and Jin-woo brainstorm. Another member tries to flee and poof, he gets turned into a spot with feet. Nice. Those feet could still sell if given the right angle and lighting. I know quite a few people who would buy that. Don't quote me on that. But hey, we have the survivors remain composed. Jin-woo asks about the first one on their list and oh, it's about praising the god, and surprise, surprise, the god is the giant murderous statue. So our genius hero stands up, backs down, and the statue's eye glow and stop. Jin-woo yells for everyone to kneel, and now the statue has a sinister grin. Who would have thought that the biggest statue in the room would be the biggest threat? The survivors think it's over, but nope, that very statue starts walking. Time for some statue mayhem. Remember the second commandment? Praise the god. god. One poor soul volunteers to pray, but oh my god, look, unsurprised, he gets crushed under the statue's foot. Real divine intervention there. Park Ji-sol thinks of his wife and son, run to a statue with a weapon, and gets brutally chopped in half. And now his wife and son will have 2 surprise gifts. If they can ever go back to that room, Jinwoo orders survivors to run to the statues with instruments. Jinwoo figures out that 2 people near an instrument holding statue won't activate it. What the fuck is this? Squid Game? Sung-shik grabs a sword, threatening Chi-woo for responsibility. Jin-woo agrees to be the volunteer, activating flames. Jin-woo now qualifies for the Paralympics, explain the sacrifice ritual like he's in a narrating cooking show. Alright, cut to Jinha visiting her unconscious mother because we need some family drama in the midst of statue chaos. Riveting subplot number 2. Back to the dungeon. The doors open, and despite Jinwoo's instructions, 2 scared members leave, including Sung-shik. Fearful moments, tears, and a hint of family drama. Now Joo-hee can't move because of magic exhaustion, and Jinwoo hands her an essence stone, telling her to buy food. How thoughtful, the guy's about to die. But before you can say dramatic twist, Sung-shik next chops Joo-hee. Nice one, buddy. As Ji-woo leaves with the unconscious Joo-hee, Ji-woo goes full desperate mode, grabbing Sung-shik's sword. Bro really grabbed the sword to fight the Statue of Liberty. Great plot. Kyodi enter another monologue about Jinwoo's unfortunate desire to become stronger. Now we all thinking the same thing. It's going to survive and come back stronger. Obviously, we all love that shit. What did we just say? A blue flame goes out and another face appears in Jinwoo's mind, asking him to accept or decline becoming a player. Of course he's gonna become a player, alright? Like, he's the MC. No. Alright, so if there's the next episode, the MC obviously survives. And this is what will be on that grind. This show's title is Solo Leveling after all. So then he wakes up in the hospital and with all his body parts intact, including those precious legs. Must be a miracle. Yeah? Alright, it's really not that the plot demanded it, that he survived that statue gangbang. Okay, so hopefully that healer girl will visit him. Yeah, nope. The Korean Hunters Association asked him to put his hand on a mana meter. He gets excited to know his new rank, but the machine says, oops, 0. Yeah, that wasn't expected, I'm not gonna lie. So then he asks his sister about unread notification and info boxes like he's suddenly in a video games. Like, bro, she clearly cannot see what you see. And why would you want her to see anyway? Luna's wondering why she's the tech support when she's not even Indian. Like Choi Jong-ling assigns Chae to a B rank raid. She's not too confident, but Jong-ling assures her that she's got what it takes. Do we all remember that she casually flipped over an incoming vehicle and she's the one who's not confident? Really? Alright, whatever. Meanwhile, civilians question when the hunters will clear the gate that randomly appeared in the middle of the road. Okay, so then back to Jinwoo, who is sleeping and unaware that his joke quest has a time limit. I'm sure they did it on purpose because this dude did not learn anything from that statue family strokes. And a supposed earthquake later, he finds himself in the desert, chased by an enormous centipede. And we can all agree that he quite literally deserved this one. Alright, a lot of details went by, he got to grind. Okay, we get it. Now gets to a new dungeon's door that he only can see. That works for the plot. Hesitation at the dungeon door. He inserts the key and boom, he can escape. Again, bro did not learn anything from all that statue rampage he experienced. So now he's trapped in another dimension facing goblins. I mean, he can dodge the attacks, but then a steel fang wolf appears. So he should get some tips and tricks from Dio because that canine is a kneecapper. He got a lot in this show. It's definitely a show I'm gonna keep an eye on. But yeah, good hate, blood, violence, thick women, not gonna lie. Epic battles, limbs flying off, and MC on his way to become a god. Check, 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 double check. Now, this was everything that was wrong with episode 1 to 3. We'll come back because I got more. See you then.